The surgical bay of the Crimson Talon reeked of ozone and fear. Moana Leo's hands moved with practiced precision over the tiny form laid out before her, though every fiber of her being screamed that this was madness. The creature on her operating table was a Vrachthian cub, offspring of the galaxy's most feared warrior race, and she was currently wrist-deep in its chest cavity, while its father watched from behind the containment field. "Heart rate dropping," announced the medical AI in its maddeningly calm voice. "Probability of survival 12%, 12%. Moana had worked with worse odds. The Vrachthians were legends whispered in the dark corners of space stations. 8 feet of corded muscle, razor-sharp claws, and a bite force that could snap titanium. They had conquered 47 star systems before the Galactic Council sued for peace. Their code was simple. Strength above all, weakness meant death. And mercy was a concept they had no word for in their language. And yet, here stood Warlord Krathos, the butcher of the Hendari Nebula, watching a human, a species the Vrachthians had dismissed as soft skins, attempt to save his dying son. "The poison has spread to the secondary heart," Moana muttered, more to herself than anyone else. Her neural interface fed data directly to her visual cortex, highlighting the necrotic tissue in angry red. The cub had been struck by a syndicate assassin's blade, coated with a toxin designed specifically to kill Vrachthians. Slow, painful, unstoppable. Unstoppable to anyone else. Perhaps Moana's fingers danced across her instrument tray, scalpel, coagulator, nanomesh. The other species in the galaxy favored automation, letting machines do the delicate work. But humans had something no AI could replicate. Intuition born from millions of years of evolution, the ability to adapt and improvise when protocols failed. "You waste your time, human." Krathos's voice was a deep rumble that vibrated through the deck plates. "The cub is dead. I acknowledge your effort, but even your kind cannot reverse death itself." "He's not dead yet," Moana said through gritted teeth. Sweat dripped down her temple despite the bay's cool temperature. She'd been operating for 6 hours straight. Her back screamed. Her eyes burned. Her hands trembled with exhaustion. But she didn't stop. She bypassed the damaged secondary heart entirely, rerouting blood flow through an improvised shunt made from synthesized tissue. It was delicate work. One wrong move and she'd sever an artery that would bleed the cub out in seconds. The Vrachthian anatomy was different from anything she'd trained on, but anatomy was anatomy. Blood needed oxygen. Organs needed blood. Find the problem. Fix the problem. Probability of survival 8%, the AI announced. Krathos growled, a sound that made every human instinct scream predator. "Your machine confirms what I already know. Step away, Moana Leo. I will grant you a warrior's death for trying. Not done. Yet." Each word came out punctuated by another precise cut, another sealed vessel. The poison had crystallized in the cub's bloodstream, forming microscopic shards that were shredding tissue from the inside. She couldn't remove it all, there was too much, spread too far. But if she could filter enough through the dialysis rig she'd jury-rigged from spare parts. The cub's vitals spiked, then crashed. Cardiac arrest in primary heart. Secondary heart non-functional. Moana's hands moved faster than thought. Stimulant injection directly into the heart muscle. Manual compression. The cub's physiology was alien, but the principle was universal. She counted compressions in her head, a rhythm as old as medicine itself. 1, 2, 3. Human. Stop. Krathos's voice had changed. Softer, almost broken. "You torture him with false hope. Let him die with dignity." "Humans don't give up," Moana snarled, shocking herself with the venom in her voice. "Not on our patients. Not on our friends. Not on cubs who deserve a chance to live." She slammed the cardiac stimulator against the tiny chest. Once. Twice. The monitor flatlined. Moana stared at the screen, her vision blurring. No. No. She'd been so close. She'd mapped every pathway, bypassed every damaged system, filtered the poison. Her hands moved on their own. One more time, one more shock. The monitor beeped, then again, then established a weak but steady rhythm. Probability of survival, 43%, 71%, 92%. The AI sounded almost surprised. Poison levels dropping. Tissue regeneration detected. Patient stabilizing. Moana's legs gave out. She caught herself on the operating table, gasping for breath. The cub, Krathos' son, breathed. Shallow, weak, but breathing, the tiny chest rose and fell beneath her bloody gloves. Behind the containment field, the warlord of the Vrakthian Empire had dropped to his knees. "You brought him back," Krathos whispered. "From beyond the veil, you challenged death itself and won." Moana wanted to say something profound, something that would explain the human drive to heal, to preserve life even when logic said to quit. Instead, she just smiled weakly and said, "I'm not done yet. He needs another 18 hours of monitoring and 3 more procedures. Someone get me a coffee." The medical staff, a mix of various species who had watched the entire operation in stunned silence, burst into action. As Moana began the painstaking work of closing the incisions and stabilizing her patient for the long recovery ahead, Krathos remained kneeling. When she finally looked up hours later, exhausted beyond measure but satisfied that the cub would live, she found the massive warrior still there. "You have given me back my son," he said. "The Vrakthian Empire does not forget debts. You have earned a warrior's respect, Moana Leo. More, you have earned a father's gratitude." Moana nodded, too tired for words. She'd just saved the son of the galaxy's most dangerous warlord. Tomorrow there would be political implications, diplomatic ramifications, perhaps even a shift in how the Vrakthians viewed humanity. But tonight, she'd done what humans had done since they first discovered fire in Earth's ancient caves. She'd fought back the darkness and won, one patient at a time.